think I showered yesterday. I don't smell like I showered yesterday, but I feel like I did. Welcome to the world of social distancing, friends. At least I changed my clothes today. That was good. But if I'm being real with you guys, I only changed my clothes today because I was filming multiple different videos, and I didn't want you to think I filmed them all in the same day. Small business supporters, I'm Savvy. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. I just looked at my YouTube analytics the other day and learned that out of all of the watch time I have, like 73% of my watch time hours come from people who haven't even subscribed. So if you've been watching this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, just go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications. I put out videos multiple times a week about books, writing, small business owner life, and anti-MLM content, which means multi-level marketing or pyramid scheme type things. But today's video is going to be about books. So I hope you guys are ready to read with me. While we are all social distancing, there have been a few things I've been doing to, give myself some recreation. Normally, as an extrovert, my recreation comes from spending time with other people, but spending time with other people is not a thing we can do. Just this past Wednesday, I put out a video about being an extroverted writer during the social distancing time. So you already know how I'm feeling. But that said, real quick, it's important. Stay inside if you can. Stay separate from other people. Like, it's important for the health of everyone in general that we take this really seriously, so I'm still doing it. I'm just also complaining about it because based on my analytics, y'all like when I complain. Anyway, in this time, I have a lot of the things I normally do have been kind of thrown by the wayside. For example, as a small business owner, most of the way I make money is through events. I do conventions, festivals, art fairs, craft fairs, book fairs, pet expos, small business expos, that kind of thing, and all those have been canceled. So if you guys are interested in my small business Forever Home Friends, which are children's books and stuffed animals and other merch based on real rescue dogs, where we give 10% of our profits to local animal shelters, you can check out the link in the description below. Because we're all stuck inside, I'm offering free shipping on all orders $40 and over. I wish I could offer it on every product, but because I'm operating at a smaller profit margin right now due to a variety of factors that I'm not going to go into because it would make this video way too long, I have to, have a $40 or more to get free shipping. Anyway, the code is free shipping 2020. You can enter it at checkout, linked in the description below. Moving on to the book stuff. So during this time, while I'm not able to go to events with my company that I run, while I'm not able to go into my secondary job teaching creative writing workshops to kids, I'm very, very grateful. I just want to put that out there. I work for a magazine, and on Monday's video where I talked about the magazine I work for, Halftime Magazine, I'm so grateful that I'm able to do that job from home because that has been kind of a lifesaver to me during this time. So I just want to throw out there I'm grateful for that. But while I'm not able to do a lot of the things that I normally do, I'm like, well, if I look on the positive side, I guess this could be a good time for doing a ton of reading. So today I thought I'd talk to you guys about the books that I'm reading during the quarantine. Some of these I finished. This is kind of like a TBR video, but I didn't film it before I started. So in this video, I'm not going to be reviewing any of these books. I'm just going to be kind of talking about what I am going to be reading, and you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're interested in me doing a wrap-up video afterwards and doing a review of all these books, you can let me know that as well. So I'm going to start off with a couple that I've already read. So the first one I read during the quarantine is Joyland by Stephen King. This book inspired me to want to start a Stephen King drinking game, which is drink every time Stephen King introduces a female character by describing their boobs. Literally doesn't matter if they're supposed to be like a love interest or if they're just a random girl, or even if they're like an old lady that the young guy sees, like, doesn't matter. First description is always their boobs. But I'm not going to review this whole book right now. I had a good time reading Joyland, so that was the first one that I read during this time. The second book I read was Winter House by Ben Gooderson. This book, I love the cover, so I just want to show this real quick. So look, this cover has like this fancy hotel, but the windows are like three-dimensional. So if you pull off the book jacket, and then this is like inside the house. So I just thought the cover was really cool the way it was made. This book is about a young girl who gets sent to live in a mysterious, fancy, ornate hotel during the Christmas season when her evil aunt and uncle go off on vacation and leave her behind. While she's there, she discovers there's a bunch of mysteries about this place, and she finds a book that has some of the keys that may reveal these mysteries. It kind of struck me before I read it, and while I was reading it, it struck me as like a combination, like if you combined a series of unfortunate events, Harry Potter and Gravity Falls, but like made it more contemporary, although there is a little bit of a magic element in this. It was kind of a lot of things. I'm not going to do a full review of it right now because I feel like if I hadn't done my Books with Wasted Potential video earlier, this could have gone in there. I really liked this book, but it had a little bit or a lot of wasted potential, so I'll talk about that in a wrap-up, but I'm still glad I read this one during this time. It was very cozy for the being stuck at home vibe. The book that I am currently reading right now is Fur Lodge by Sean McMahon. You guys may have seen when I did my unboxing video when I first subscribed to Indie Book Box. Indie Book Box, rest in peace. One of my favorite small businesses ever to go out of, like, one of my favorite small businesses ever, and they went out of business, so I was so sad when they went out of business. Paying respects to Indie Book Box. This was one of the first books that I got in my Indie Book Box subscription, and it's kind of like a sci-fi-ish thriller mystery type of thing where everyone goes to a cabin together to celebrate a birthday, and while they're there they get stuck in a strange time loop. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm still at the very beginning of the book, but I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. Next book that I've started and I'm at the beginning of is a book called The Con Artist by Fred Van Lent, I'm not sure how you say his name, but I got this book right before I did my first like big comic convention as an exhibitor with Forever Home Friends, because I love the convention life. I love going to C2E2 in Chicago and Comic-Con and those kind of things. I love dressing up. Now I also love selling things there, even though the social distancing means who knows when I'll get to do that again. But I love that whole environment, and in this book it's like, I like that the title is a pun. It's like The Con Artist because it's about an artist who goes to conventions, so he's a con artist, but it's also about there's somebody who did a murder and has like a secret plot, so they're a con artist and that they're an artist of conning people. So anyway, the pun, I can't get over puns in the title. I love it so much. So this is kind of a mystery of that as well. So I'm at the very beginning of this book, but I'm really excited to continue reading it and seeing what happens. Next book I'd like to read is a book called Punk Rock Entrepreneur. If you guys know me, I feel like I don't even have to explain why I'd be interested in a book called Punk Rock Entrepreneur. But it's basically a book that's talking about like alternative values in running a business, which is kind of how I am as a business owner. I'm trying to envision my role in the publishing industry as not like, oh, are we going to traditionally publish or self-publish or indie publish? I'm trying to be like, nah, dude, publishing can just be like a good old punk rock festival. I want to start a book festival, which I've briefly mentioned on social media, but I'll go into more later. My goal is to host a small indie-ish, but non-really publishing-wise categorized book festival that's more like a rave or a party kind of thing in 2022. I'm going to talk more about that in a future video, but like basically every time I like see an indie band or like I go see a musical artist that I really admire what they do, I think about how like my path as an author could be similar in that kind of way of building a small following and then growing it and not having to sell out to the man. I'm just gonna shut up because I'm gonna cringe at this when I'm 30. Punk rock entrepreneur. Next I'm going to be reading Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This book has been on my TBR for forever, and then I left it on my bedside table next to my bed, and then if you guys know how I am one messy motherfucker, so I just had it covered and covered and covered with more and more books and more stuff, and I forgot about it. But I've heard really good things and I want to read it, so it's back on the TBR. Next, I'm going to be reading The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I'm hoping I get all of these read during this time, considering every once in a while I start reading and then I'm like, why am I so lonely? Being an extroverted reader and writer sucks, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Anyway, one of my best friends gave me this book for Christmas Christmas this year, because when we would talk about books together, she would regularly recommend this book and this TV show to me, and I would keep that in my mind like, oh, I definitely need to get that. And then this year she gave it to me for Christmas, and I was so excited. And it was funny because right before she gave it to me, I was like texting her like, I'm considering watching The Magicians on Netflix. Like, I wonder, like, I know you told me it was good. And she was like, yeah, have you read the book? And I'm like, not yet, but I really want to. And that was like, she had already gotten it for me and was just excited. She was like, okay, good, I'm glad she hasn't read it but wants to. So anyway, The Magicians, I am looking forward to reading this. Next is a book that I had on my in December TBR back in December for that readathon, but did not get to because I ran out of time, and that is Long Grows the Dark by Catherine Labadie. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name correctly. Catherine, I apologize if I'm saying it wrong, but this is another book I got from Indie Book Box. May it rest in peace. And I'm excited to read this one as well. I feel like this is going to kind of help me. I'm trying to open myself up to reading more young adult and new adult fantasy books, just because fantasy has never really been my thing. But from the description on the back of this felt really like a book where it eases you into the world building and starts off in the real world and introduces you to things as the main character learns them. Don't know if that's going to be true because I haven't read it yet, but books like that I tend to like more, just because if I'm like thrown right into a high fantasy, you know, Dungeons and Dragons style thing, I just don't know what's going on. I told you guys this in the past, but when I first tried to play D&D with my friends when I was in high school, I made my character a lesbian basketball player, and everyone was like, you can't do that. And I was like, why? And they were like, basketball doesn't exist in Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, but this is fantasy, literally anything can happen. And I didn't realize that like there were tropes. So for some reason my brain just doesn't process things the right way sometimes. But I'm excited to read this. And then finally, the author-tuber book that I'm going to read while we are still social distancing is Megan Tennant's book. So if you guys know Megan Tennant from Cloud Kitten Chronicles, she's awesome. She's the person who actually organized the In December readathon every December, and so I have a lot of respect for her for that, and I just think she's a really awesome author-tuber. I love her channel. I love her whole aesthetic with like the pretty colors that she has. I love that she brings this community together a lot, so I am excited to read her book. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I did a while back. It was this last September. I did a collab with fellow author-tuber Stephen Partridge. He and I did a video collab where we both talked about our top 5 favorite canonically bisexual characters we did for September for Bisexual Visibility Day. He brought up this book as one of his favorites, and I was like, oh, you're bringing up a lot of author-tuber books that I haven't read, and I'm feeling like I'm getting some strong recommendations here. So anyway, I am really excited to read this book as well, and to do an author-tuber review, because I feel like it's been a little too long since I've done an author-tuber book review, and I really want to do another one of these. So those are the books that I'm planning to read while we're social distancing. I don't know if I'll get through all of them. I'm hoping I do, because they're all books that I'm really excited to read, so we're going to keep going. Let me know if you guys would be interested in specific reviews on any of them, or if you'd be interested in a wrap-up video. Just let me know your thoughts in general in the comments below. Don't forget to check out all my links in the description box, because I have, as I said, my free shipping deal on my Forever Home Friends stuff. I also have channel merch. I've got my small business supporter tote bag. If you want to use some dark humor to get through this time, think about the toilet paper shortage. I've got a Girl Wash Your Ass shirt. It was originally meant to be a parody of Girl Wash Your Face, but now that there's no toilet paper left, we might all actually have to wash our ass. I say that like I don't believe it. Never mind. I will see y'all again soon. In the meantime, don't forget to support small businesses if you can. Happy reading, BookTube friends.